Will my wife change her mind? My wife is having an affair with someone. Will she stop that affair? My wife is separated from me. Will she change her mind and come back? My wife has applied for divorce. Will she change her mind? And if you are already divorced, then will she change her mind and get married to me again? If you have these questions at the back of your mind, this is the perfect video for you to watch. So continue to watch this video to find answers. Hi, Valerian Sequeira here, and I teach relationship science to transform marriages. In this video, where I'm going to talk about will your wife change her mind, here are the 6 things that I'm going to cover. The first thing is whatever your wife has decided, how did she decide? And for you to understand that, we are all human beings, are animals. So, how do animals decide? I'm going to talk about that. Then, the second thing I'm going to talk about is how did she decide to get married? Now, in your case, she's going through a separation, having an affair. That's also a decision. So, let's start with the first decision of getting married to you. The third thing is how did she decide now to do whatever she's doing? The fourth thing I'm going to cover is but what if? What if my wife is influenced by my uncle, by her uncle or her parents? What if then? The fifth one is what experiences, because I'm going to, in the first, second, and the third point, I'm going to talk about something called experiences, the power of experiences. And then I'm going to explain what experiences that will change our mind. And finally, I'm going to talk about some of the exceptions for she changing our mind. So let us jump in. And before we jump into the session, this video, a quick disclaimer. This video is only for you if you are a person with an open mind who wants to learn, who wants to understand, who really wants to get out of what is called as a power struggle. Because there is nothing wrong with your marriage. It is just that it is stuck at power struggle. It is not for you if you are somebody who is a hater, you are somebody who has a closed mind. That means you are not open to learning. You're only uh, all that you do is blame others, blame situations, and blame people around. Then please don't watch this video. So if you're continuing this video, then I believe that you are somebody with an open mind. And with that open mind, let us jump into the first point. That is, how do animals decide? How animals decide. So I'm going to take a simple example of, let's say, a dog or a cat. How does it decide? Let's say you walk into the house and the way you interact with the dog. Now, the next time when you walk in, how does it decide to interact with you or not? So, how animals decide with everything. And the way animals decide is very simple and it applies to us as well. It is based on the experience. So, if a dog has a great experience with me, that means I'm playing with the dog, I'm interacting with the dog, and based on that, the dog decides how it is going to interact with me. So, experience leads to decision. As simple as this. And even among human beings, that's how it goes. Let's take a simple example of um, whether you would like to have chicken or not, or would you like to have, let's say, brinjal or not. How do you decide? The way you decide is based on your experience. So, experience leads to a decision. So, with everything, the way we decide is based on our experiences. So, that brings us to the second point is how did she decide about marriage? How did she decide about getting married to you? So you met her, if it is an arranged marriage, probably you met her in our house or your house. And then before she got married to you, there were experiences. And those experiences were pleasant. And why they were pleasant, I'm going to talk about it later. But they were pleasant. And based on that, she decided to get married to you. Now, in your case, probably in the midst of a fight, your wife would have said that, I decided to get married to you only based on what my parents told me. I wanted to make them happy. Even in that case, the the process was very similar. Your wife's parents had a wonderful experience with you and your family, and that led to the decision. So, and if it is a love marriage, then obviously you met her the first day, and if you had asked her to get married to you within the next 2 hours, she would have said no. But then 2 years later, 3 years later, whenever you got married, she said yes to you because of the wonderful experiences she had with you. So experiences lead to decision. Now, whatever she's doing now, to be separated from you, to apply for divorce, to end the marriage, to have an affair, whatever she has decided, it coming from the experiences that she had with you. So these experiences made her feel that this marriage is not worth it. This marriage is not worth it. The one of the interesting thing that I often say is this, that when your wife got married to you, did she say to herself that I'm going to marry this guy for the next 5 years, and after 5 years, I'm going to give him a divorce? No. When she got married to you, she got married with the conviction that this man, I want to be with this man for the rest of my life. And if you're a Hindu, then it is for 7 lives. When you do that Saptapadi, what you're saying to the world is that I want to be with this person for the next 7 lives. Why did she make that commitment? Why did she make that decision? Based on the wonderful experience she had earlier. And now the decision that she has made, to whether with the affair or separation or not talking to you, not communicating with you, not having physical intimacy, comes from the experiences. And who created those experiences? You and your spouse. But from your wife's perspective, it is you. It is your action and your words that created this experience. So imagine the kind of power that you hold. The woman who decided to be with you for the rest of her life, you, through your action and words, could change our mind. If you can do that, then what about now? If you can change our mind from where she was to where she is today, what about now? You are immensely powerful in changing our mind. So the first thing for you to understand is that you are extremely powerful. You have the power to make her to change our mind from being married to you to leave you. If it is true, then you also have the power to change her mind, to bring her back, bring that love back. Now there's a big question often people ask is, but what if my wife is influenced by her parents, her family? What if then? The answer is very simple. The answer is, experience is more powerful than reviews. Experience is more powerful than reviews. Let me explain to you. When there is a, but before I give you examples, let me explain to you. When there is a contradiction between what people say and what I have experienced, I'm going to go by the experience. If I have not experienced it, obviously I'll go by the reviews. Let's say there is a restaurant where you regularly go and you really love this restaurant. The people are amazing, the food is amazing, the place is hygienic. You really love this restaurant. And tomorrow, when you go to Google and you realize that there are 1,001 stars, everybody is criticizing about this restaurant. Will you change your mind? Will you stop going there? No. Why? Because your experience is more powerful than the reviews. Let's say there is a woman before marriage, she's in madly in love with this guy, and you would have seen this situation, and the parents are not happy with it. Everybody is telling her that don't get married to this guy because he's from a different religion, he drinks, he smokes, he whatever. If the girl is a vegetarian, then he eats non-veg, things will be difficult for you. But the girl still wants to get married to that person. Why? Because her experience of that man is more powerful than what all the other people are saying. So even if you're thinking that the other people are influencing her, if your experience with her, rather her experience with you is amazing, then nobody can come between you and her. Even now, even now. And I've seen that happening time and again. In fact, the way you behave with her and her family, the words you use, the tone you use, the body language you use, the family notices the change in you, and they are the first one to change their mind. And then your wife does in most cases. So don't think that they can influence you. In fact, when you change in a positive way, they are the first person to support you in bringing back love. Now, the big question, The big question is, what experiences will change our mind? And it's very simple, very easy to understand. There are five kinds of experiences that make people to decide. And it's almost in every situation. But here, we're going to talk about in marriage. What are those five kinds? The first is any experience that makes us feel that we matter. In your case, any experience that makes your wife feel that she matters. The second one is you are there for her. The third one is she's good, she's right, and she's a wonderful human being. So before marriage, all that you did was you created these experiences where she felt that she matters to you because you called her up on her birthday, you wished her, you spoke to her. The second one is you are there for her. You used to listen to her problems, understand her situation. The third one is compliments, appreciation, all these things which made her feel that she's good, right, and wonderful human being. When she changed her mind to move from the marriage to an affair, to separation, to divorce, is exactly this is what happened. Through your interaction, through your behavior, she felt that she doesn't matter. You're not there for her. And then you had fights, and in every fight, we communicate to the other person that you're a horrible human being. And that's what made her to decide to leave. Now, when you want her to come back, when you want to bring back love, it's the same process. Every action that you do, make her feel that she matters to you. You're there for her. She's good, right, and wonderful human being. Now, the last question that I'm going to answer is, are there any exceptions? Are there any exceptions to this rule that in spite of doing this, things might not change? And here are two exceptions. The first exception is that there is extreme damage that is done to the relationship. That means you had been really harsh with her, maybe physical abuse, maybe mental trauma that you have given, not consciously during the power struggle stage, because nobody hurts the other person purposely. It's only when we are hurt, we hurt the other person, or because of the upbringing that we had. Because as men, we are trained in a certain way, and that worked till now, and now it doesn't work. So, extreme damage that is done to the relationship. The second thing is there's a long gap in duration in your communication. There's a second possibility. Now, you might ask me, well, um, in my case, what about in my case? I don't know whether there is extreme damage is done, or I don't know whether the gap that we had, there was a lot of silence that we had, or I don't know whether it was in my case. What about in my case? The answer to this question is I don't know. Why am I saying that I don't know? And is there a measuring rod to tell you? Is there a quiz to tell you that in this damage, the relationship can be recovered? If this has happened, the relationship can't be recovered. There is nothing like that. Because and why am I saying this? Because it comes from my experience. There are marriages which I thought that they will never recover, they will never be able to bring back now love, they will never be able to come back, have brought back love into their relationship. So when it comes to you, the big question you might have is, should I give up or should I continue? And let me answer that question right now. Now, if you're part of the program, whether you're a silver member or a diamond member, here is the answer to you. And if you're not part of the program, then I invite you to attend my free masterclass. All that you have to do is go to coachval.co and sign up for this masterclass. You can see the link out here on the screen. And at the masterclass, I'm going to give you all the details about the program and you can join the program. Now, let me answer this question. Should I continue or give up? What I want you to know is that this program is not about your wife. It is not goal oriented program. It is transformation oriented program, and the achieving of the goal is just a byproduct. It means that you are going to work on yourself. You're not working on getting your wife back, because if you work on getting your wife back, if you go work on trying to change your wife's mind, it never works. What you need to do is you got to work on yourself. And if you're working on yourself, you're transforming yourself by genuinely going through the program, by genuinely understanding what experiences that you created that made your wife to behave the way she's doing during the power struggle. Now you are becoming an amazing person. Now, when you become that amazing person, it really doesn't matter. Why it doesn't matter? Because if she comes back, if you have a great marriage, if you're together, then no worries. But for people who are having this, going through a divorce process or already divorced or going through a separation, now in your case, you might have this. But what if she doesn't come back? It really doesn't matter. Because if she comes back, you're going to have a great marriage. And God forbid that she doesn't come back. So what? You might get married to somebody else. But when you get married to somebody else, that marriage is going to be awesome because there is not much difference between a business and marriage. Because in a business, if you fail in the first one, your second business also, there's a high possibility of your second business failing. It's not because of the business, it's because of the person you are. Because the common denominator in the first business as well as the second business is you, not the employees, not the niche that you have taken, not the industry, it's you. When you transform, there is a high possibility that your second business will transform. Your second business will be successful. And the same applies for marriage. So the question you shouldn't ask is, should I continue or give up? The question you should ask is, how can I become that amazing person that my spouse can't resist falling in love with? So that's all from my side for this particular video. And I want you to believe that your wife will change her mind. And in order for you to believe even more, you got to understand how you change the mind to come to a state that you are in. So if you have, what I want you to do right now is go to the comment section and write in the comment section, what's the one thing that you have learned from this video? One. The second one is, if there is somebody who is going through a very difficult marriage right now, please share this video with that person. And the third thing is, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead, subscribe to this channel, press that bell icon so that every time I put up a video, you get a notification, and click on that like button if you have liked this video. And finally, continue to watch my other videos. There are a lot of tips and strategies that I've shared on my other videos. Continue to watch them. As always, until we connect again, keep your love story alive. Bye-bye.